I'm Felicia,
And I'm Ian.
and we are the Paranormal Lovers.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to another episode of the Paranormal Lovers.
Hey guys,
Hey guys,
thanks for not yelling in my ear this time.
you like that?
That was great. I was like, I don't know if you saw me. I was like kind of flinching, getting ready for it.
I've kind of been at work. I've kind of been working on my radio voice, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily radio voice, but more like a masculine voice. I'm glad it makes you laugh.
I was sitting here thinking of like your customer service voice, but you're like more like a masculine voice.
So like most of the time, I would do a mid range because it projects farther and people would hear me better.
Yeah,
I would be like, "Heads up, mold," like that. But now I do it like, "Heads up, mold." Like, so it's like I get more like, get the fuck out of the way, people. Come on now.
I wish I was still there. I'd just like walk up to people and just be like,
do you like risking your life? Get the fuck out of the way.
That's what you need to do when they don't see the mold or they look at the mold and they just like keep working. Just like walk up to them and scream in their face.
Yep.
They'll be like,
I'm moving, God.
Damn. You need to take your rabbit mask with you though. Wear your rabbit mask and walk up and
Scare
scream.
The shit out of people. Jesus. God dang.
Standing between the presses.
Fucking running a press. Like, walk up in a fucking rabbit mask. God damn.
Yeah, that rabbit mask is creepy. If you go back on our Instagram, you'll see a picture. I'm pretty sure of Patty in it.
I think it's in here.
I know. I was looking for it. Patty plays with it a lot, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's such a creepy kid. Oh, well, welcome back to another episode. Sorry, guys.
I think I'm going to take my sweatshirt off. I'm getting hot.
He's getting hot. He likes to wear a hoodie, but it's warm in here.
It's my ghost hoodie.
It's been like...
The ghost.
Hey, Tobias, come talk to us. Talk to Morbid. Come talk to us.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah, it's been really cold lately, but it's like 60 today. And
yeah, it's warming up.
What the fuck?
A tad.
A tad. Thankfully. People are cold out there. All right. If you guys are a fan of history, especially the history that... Was that a dog? Or was that you?
I don't know. What'd you hear?
It sounded like Star barking.
Star's inside. Chewy's outside.
It sounded like Star barking. But anyways. If you're a fan of history, especially the history that some people would prefer we ignore, give our show Rethinking Our History a listen. Can be found anywhere you find this show. If you would be so kind, please give us a follow and share on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are on Blue Sky. You have to search for, on the first three, you can just search for the Paranormal Lovers. On Blue Sky, you have to search for Paranormal Lovers, PARANORMLOVERS, like my little hashtags on Instagram. Go back and look at that if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it again.
I need to get on there still.
Children. It's interesting. I still don't spend a lot of time on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like TikTok, like I'm still never on TikTok, and we have like 600 followers on there.
Well, the reason I was on X was to like follow my enemies.
Yeah.
So, and
don't
like
get rid of
them,
your X too, because don't get rid of your X. If you decide to switch over to Blue Sky from Twitter, I ain't fucking calling it X. Fuck Musk.
Right.
If you decide to switch over to Blue Sky from Twitter, don't get rid of your Twitter account. Keep your Twitter account. Yep. Just don't use it. That way bots can't steal it.
Right.
Because if you deactivate your Twitter account, they'll steal your account name, and then people think you're still on there on Twitter tweeting, and it's not you, it's a bot. So don't get rid of your Twitter account if you come to Blue Sky. But if you come to Blue Sky, follow us.
Yep.
If you would like to support the making of this podcast, we have a couple of ways you can do so. First, we have a merch shop at theparanormallovers.threadless.com, where you can purchase 2 different designs that the proceeds of will be donated to hurricane recovery efforts. And I added some new designs this week, which are really cool and spooky. Y'all go check those out. We
Definitely,
also,
definitely hit that hurricane relief thing
for
because
sure,
people are needing it really, really bad right now. We got like people living in tents out here, so
yeah, and it was 14 degrees the other day, guys. So
we're trying to.
imagine living in a tent and it's 14 degrees. And then they also said, oh, yeah, we haven't had any rain in like
Yeah,
a month. So burn ban.
yeah. So they can't start a fire. Like it's bad. It's bad situation.
Yeah.
Bad sitch, and like the county commissioners being an asshole, not letting them build tiny houses.
Hmm.
It's bad.
It's bad.
So give all you can, like
Yeah.
not just to us, other people too have great things. Beloved Asheville is the greatest thing in the world. Like
Yeah.
those people are doing God's work. But
They are.
sorry, go ahead.
We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/paranormal lovers, where for just $5 a month, you get early access to unedited videos of both shows, usually released on Fridays, as well as 2 stickers a month, one from our merch store and one handmade by Ian.
Yeah.
And finally, if you have a personal story, whether it be paranormal, true crime, or historical, you have a topic request, or you just want to yell at us for our super liberal views, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. All right, folks. This was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago when we were still in Native American History Heritage Month.
Right.
But we had Tunai on,
Yeah.
so I'll take Tunai.
That's a great episode.
That's a great episode. He's so fun.
Thanks again for coming out, Tuna.
For sure. We know I love the culture of the indigenous people of this land, and although you can't learn everything in a month, we got to give you guys a couple of stories about them. If you haven't, please give our episode on the Trails of Tears, a listen on our show Rethinking Our History. There's also 2 episodes about Andrew Jackson behind that.
Yep.
And then Emus. And then Fred Hampton after that. So
yeah,
it's real interesting over there.
Yeah, listen to the Fred Hampton one. I didn't know a lot of stuff about him.
Yeah. I actually did not know anything about him.
Yeah.
Until I saw, if you guys go on Instagram, the Human Archivist, I think, or the Humanity Archivist.
Mm-hmm.
It's a black guy. He wears glasses and he always does these little videos where it's like his face and it's got notes over it, and then he shows you information. It was one of his videos I learned about Fred Hampton.
I want to say I watched one of his videos the other day.
It was like that he was murdered at 21 by the FBI, and I was like,
wow, that's just crazy.
Oh, and then I went and did the research, and I was like, oh, he was murdered. He was straight up.
I wonder what Adam Kokesh thinks about him.
I don't know. You'd have to ask him that.
Kokesh got raided, remember?
Yeah.
They were a lot nicer to Kokesh, though.
Although, admittedly, Kokesh loves to antagonize the fuck out of them.
Yeah, so. Yeah. But
Fred wasn't antagonizing anybody. He was just a what do you call it? A threat to the status quo.
Yeah.
He was a threat to the status quo, and they couldn't have that.
Yeah.
Kokesh likes to antagonize the fuck out of people because he's a white man and he knows he can get away with it.
Yep. That's the differences in it, you know. Like they were a lot, like they didn't kill him, you know. Yeah. The worst that happened in Kokesh's raid was they flashbanged his dog, which is horrible.
He would have killed me because I'd have fucked your ass up going hurt my dog like that.
Right.
It might be loud and just startling and like jarring, but like, nah, don't terrify my dog.
A service dog, like, no.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
That sets all of their training back.
Yep.
They have to go through now more extensive training because they have to now get over their own post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm sure, yeah.
Y'all see this angry look on my face? If you listen and you can't see this angry look on my face.
Our history podcast gets intense sometimes.
After I just learned about Fred, and like I follow several people who like talk about their service animals on Instagram, and knowing how much work goes into training a service animal and how much work you have to do if their training gets fucked up by something like that, or if you have your animals off leash and it attacks a service dog, that does the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Now they're scared of going out in public because they're worried they're going to get attacked, so they can't do their damn job.
Yeah. Just doing the knife hand dance.
If y'all have never watched The Forces of Evil on Disney Plus, it's a really good show for kids. Patty's the one that got us into it, and they do the knife hand dance, and he's like,
Yeah.
"This is not a dance. I'm doing karate." And they're like, "Oh no, it's the knife hand dance." So we do that sometimes because it feels good. All right. This week we're gonna look at another one of their terrifying legends.
Yeah. What do you got?
It's if you're a man doing naughty things, that is.
Oh no, I think I know now.
If you're a fan of the hit, I do sound Minnesotan. If you're a fan of the hit TV show Reservation Dogs, then you already know of the legend of the Deer Lady.
Nice.
Although she is not a legend in every indigenous community, she does have legends in quite a few, such as the Lakota, the Ojibwe, and the Cherokee, just to name a few.
Nice.
Although her appearance and purpose have some variations across the communities, her story has common elements regardless of who is telling it. The most common commonality is her appearance. She is said to be a beautiful woman with long black hair and piercing eyes who has some element of a deer. This might be horns, or if she's trying to lure someone in, might be her feet. She's also said to be able to transform into a whole deer. Some say a whole deer, while others say she's more of like a centaur. Centaur world.
I love that show.
That is what's called an ikolila, people. You hear a word and it makes you sing something.
Yeah.
So she'll have like the bottom half of a deer, but the torso and the head of a woman.
Hmm.
This ability to shapeshift into a deer gives her a unique connection to nature. She kind of lives in both worlds, human, nature. It's all connected.
Right.
Her origin story also varies. In some sources, she is considered one of the little people. In Cherokee lore, they are known as Nunihai, which roughly translates to people who live anywhere. However, one of the most common is that she is I don't know why I stuck in like what she's called with the, okay. However, one of the most common origin stories is that she is a woman who was brutally raped and left to die. As she lay dying, a beautiful fawn came to lay down beside her, and in her final moment, she was granted a wish. Some say by the creator, some say it was the deer herself. But whoever it was heard her prayer, granted her wish to be able to come back and take revenge on the men who hurt her.
Hmm.
She was born half deer, half woman, and in this state she would lure the men who hurt her into the woods, where the last thing they saw was her hooved feet as she trampled them to death.
Wow.
Nay, motherfucker. Although I'm not entirely sure what sound deer make. I don't think I've ever heard a deer call. Like come from an actual deer.
Right.
I've heard it on like hunting shows and stuff, but I've never actually heard a deer make a noise, which is amazing because we have a lot of deer around here.
Right.
In another origin story, she is the daughter of the first man and woman, and her name is Iti. She married the wind god Tate and had quadruplets. That's not a word you say every day. Had quadruplets, 4 babies at once, who became the 4 winds. Tate wished to become a god and called upon a trickster spider for help. Ink Tommy caused Sun to fall in love with It, and at a celebration, It sat in Moon, the wife of Sun's seat. For her disrespect, Moon cast her to Earth. Half of her face got twisted ugly, and she was named Ankai, or double-faced woman. It is said that she visits people in their dreams. If she should visit a man in his dreams or outside of them and he has sex with her, he will go mad. But if a woman should dream of her, it is said that she will grant her great powers if she makes the right choices.
Hmm.
Come to me, Auntie Dear Woman. In other versions, her uncle is Thunder, and they are said to seek out those who break from the tradition of community. If one should incur their wrath, they are soon to die. In other stories of her, she is seen as a kind being that helps lost travelers find their way out of the forest. She is also linked to fertility, seen as the being that keeps the flora and fauna of the forest thriving, and may even be able to help women conceive.
Hmm.
Her being born of human and deer is a physical representation of the balance between humans and the natural world. Some believe seeing her is a sign of transformation, while others believe seeing her is a sign of someone's impending death. So she almost gives like banshee vibes, but not really. There's another one. There is actually another one. Um, Give me a minute, I'll get there.
Okay.
So, needless to say, there's a lot of different varieties to her story.
Yeah.
But what she is most well known for is luring men to their death. Not all men, like some other pissed off beings, but those who are said to typically be abusive or cheaters. She sets out to seduce these men and lead them out into the woods as she did the men who hurt her.
It's probably like 75%.
Most of the pissed off women, deities, or spirits, creatures out there, because men done fucked around and found out.
It's the age of find out, people.
It's the age of find
That's
out.
what I've been saying.
Done did enough fucking around. It's the age of finding out. There she will either trample them to death or leave them out to wander the woods, lovesick, looking for her. Side quest for a minute. I put this in here. I hate how they keep saying that she's going to go out and seduce the men. She's not seducing anybody.
She's just taking advantage of what the men are already thinking.
She's not like, she's literally going out and finding men who are up to no good and making them an offer. I can tell you from personal experience from my hoe days that if a man is out doing up to no good, you ain't got to seduce him for shit.
Nope, he'll do it willingly.
Half the
I
time
know.
they got to seduce you.
I'm a man.
He knows. Like, I hate that shit when they're like, oh, well, she goes out and seduces him. No, she isn't seducing any fucking body. They're dick bags
Yeah.
that are out there just
75%, I'd estimate.
dick bagging.
Most men are dick bags.
Yeah. That said, most commonly, she is thought to follow the powwow circuit as she loves to dance and will go and dance all night long. During the last dance, she picks out her victim, and some say that she is like a siren and men are drawn to her. But one of the quickest ways to break her spell is to look down at her feet. It is said when she is in the form of a beautiful woman, her feet will remain the cloven hooves of a deer. And if you figure out what she is before she eats your face or tramples on your face, you can break it.
Nice.
I think we can see how these stories of the deer woman are lessons for how to treat your relationship. Her victim of choice is men who are out looking to cheat or men who are abusive at home. So I don't know. Maybe don't do that.
For
So
sure.
if you ever run across a lady with deer feet, she'll just be like, hey. So that's about all I could find on her. But there is a similar legend of a vengeful female entity in the jungles of Colombia,
Oh.
in the foothills and plains surrounding the Andes, known as La Pata Sola.
Pata sola?
I just got it, La Pata Sola. I got it. Her name roughly translates to the one-legged woman, as that is her most well-known feature, the fact that she only has one leg. La Pata Sola, 1 foot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. La Pata Sola is a vampire who again lures men into the jungle by letting out a blood-curdling scream.
No.
When the men go out to help what they believe is a woman in distress, she attacks and drains them of their blood before she disappears back into the jungle. But La Pata Sola is different from the deer woman in that she is the one who committed evil deeds.
Oh.
One story has her murdering her son and being banished into the wood for her crimes. No mention of how she became one-legged or of why she would murder her son, but another has her being a free woman who would seduce people and treat them badly. Finally, having enough of it, the townspeople cut her apart with axes. The most common legend surrounding her origin is that she was a beautiful woman who was married, and her husband became suspicious she was having an affair, so he watched her. When he got her cheating, he was so angry that he cut off her leg with an axe.
Jeez.
Which I'm also like, that's a little extreme. I don't think the punishment fits the crime,
Right.
but okay. Some legends have her escaping into the forest where she swore to take vengeance on any men who came into the forest. Others have her dying from the attack and it being her spirit haunting the forest. She has also been linked to sirens, as a scream is just one of the ways she lures her victims into the jungle. She also has the ability to sing an enchanting song that will lure men to her as well. She is also a shapeshifter who can take the form of a beautiful woman or an animal as she chooses, which is good because in some sources she is seen as a haggard looking woman with one boob, a hooked nose, and a single leg that ends in a hoof.
Mm,
So imagine that coming at you in the jungle.
that's terrifying.
La Pata Sola is seen as a valuable lesson in respecting nature. For one, it stands as a warning to be mindful when traveling through the jungle, as accidents can happen in a split second. Y'all, the jungle is wild.
Yep.
She also stands as a protector of the jungle, as in many communities, the men represent colonizers who came to steal and abuse the land and her people. She is seen to seek out those who would wish to do harm, because who else would be out in the jungle in the middle of the night other than those who were up to no good? Like,
It's true.
what the fuck are you doing in the jungle? There's like cheetahs and jaguars and shit, bro. No cheetahs, those are in Africa. Jaguars and shit, bro. So, how do we feel about the deer lady in La Patasola?
It's pretty wild.
I hope that you will never see the deer woman, sir.
Yeah, I hope not too.
I mean, when do you have time to go out and act a fool?
I think like I'm part of the other 25%, so
You
I think
are.
I would be like, no, I'm good. I see your hooves.
Right. Just anytime you meet a woman now, just like, they're going to be like, what are you looking at? Your feet. I'm looking at your feet. Sir, my eyes are up here. I'm just looking at your feet.
I
That's
wonder
all.
if like the old timey thing, like guys used to look at ankles. So like I wonder if it's got anything to do with that.
I don't know. Probably not, because that's more of like a Puritan European thing
Yeah.
than an indigenous thing, I'd probably say. I don't think they were as modest.
Right.
I don't think they had the same hangups about a naked body
Yeah.
as white people do for some reason. Like,
Right.
oh my God, it's a body. It's literally just a body. I don't understand. I don't. I say that, and then I went and had to change Patty's doctor because she's had a male doctor for the last 7 years. And now she's getting to the age where she's like, sometimes I'm uncomfortable when daddy sees me naked. And I'm like, well, that's understandable. He's a boy,
Right.
you're a girl.
Yeah.
So I had to change her doctor and get her a lady doctor,
Yeah.
which I've had a lady doctor since I can remember. So I understand.
Yeah.
It's awkward. It's awkward. I do not understand how a woman can let a man that is not her husband. Like,
Right.
I don't get it. I don't. I mean, but my mom was opposite.
Yeah.
She couldn't. She was uncomfortable having a woman down there.
Hmm.
Maybe it's being queer. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think for me, it's just the fact that like you have a vagina. I have a vagina. You can look in my vagina. You don't have a vagina. Please don't open my vagina with a speculum.
Right.
That's weird. Also, like, why are you in an OBGYN when you're a man? What makes you want to stare into the cavern of vaginas all day?
I don't know.
Like, what about that? I don't know. Anyways, I think the main thing we can take away from these is to be faithful and to do your best to live in balance with nature. We
Sure.
can't eat cash or Bitcoin, so let's take care of the earth so she can take care of us.
For sure.
All right, folks, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.